Dreamers. This is your podcast host, Charlie Brixton. And with me, like orange juice is to toothpaste, but you forget all with vodka, my homegirl, comedian Katie Bogart.
Hello.
Hey, girl. You know what? It's a Sunday. It's rainy. Everything feels good. It's a good life. Ain't it a good life?
Oh, such a good life.
All day. So this is, okay, this is really, really super special because this episode is not produced by me at all. And it's not really written by me. It's actually written by Katie. This is super, I guess, awkward for me. And because I feel like we've been like talking from the podcast, we've been talking about like sex and weight loss and transitions and something about love. I don't know. It's just like, okay, I don't want to touch it, but you know, we have to, right? Because transformations.
We want it.
We do want it. Bad. Come on, y'all. You want it. Everybody, come on. Think about it. Right? Okay. Yeah. So this episode is called The Katie's Edition, Learn How to Love Me. Segment 1, Dreamers Need Dreamers. Katie, what was your thought process? What's up, girl?
Well, originally you gave me the idea.
What? When did this happen? What type of drinks did we have? Were we hiking? No, go ahead.
No, but you were talking about how dreamers need dreamers because you want to make sure that someone isn't taking away your dreams.
I remember. Yeah.
And I felt that was so personal and true. Even when my parents got a divorce, I felt like my mom, who is this amazing dreamer, dances in the kitchen, you know, thinks of the future, the past, the present, you know, and my father is just very much more logical. You know, he was on the SWAT team, a negotiator.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I mean, yay. Cops. Okay.
Yeah. And, you know, and I thought, you know, maybe that's why it didn't work out for them, you know, because I will say that I see my mom now differently than when she was with my father.
You know what? Okay. I get it. So, okay. I can relate. Like I said, I came up to New York when I was 18 years old, right? Music theater background. I'm doing stage. And then I got this huge gig to do some background work, which caused me to go on tour for 6 months. And at the time, I was with a practicing dentist. Well, he was going to school of dentistry. And he was so upset with me that I wanted to take off from school. I'm like, dude, I'll go back. It's like, this is my dream. I'm a singer, you know. And so he's like, you're going to ruin your life. You're going to be 30 with no degree, no nothing. And how could you do this? I was upset. I was hurt. Of course, we broke up and I went on tour. You know, but I was like, oh my gosh, he thinks I'm a loser. You know, screw him. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're living somewhere in Connecticut with 5 children and 3 dogs. But on the flip side, I totally understood his point because, of course, 10 years later, you know, I'm no longer singing. I'm doing some artwork and, you know, I joined the working world. And so I'm working, you know, I'm getting up 9 to 5 and then I'm dating someone who is close in their mid 40s, 50s, still trying to be a rapper. But this is years ago, people. But I realized, yes, he was a dreamer, you know, and I'm still a dreamer, but more of a practical person because it's like, ooh, I like to live in a city. I like to pay my rent. I like to, you know, have certain things. And then I realized at this age, ooh, can I be with someone who is still won't get a job, who still wants to be P. Diddy? No judgment, but shit got real. And maybe that was my own karma, but I don't know. Is there an in between?
Well, I think,
oh God,
you know, I think the truth of the matter is your perspective. Your perspective change. Just because you have a job and you have money doesn't mean that you're less of a dreamer.
Money. Yes, that is true.
Now you're dreaming of things like that.
Real artists have day jobs, people.
Well, I mean, and for me, you know, I've always been an artist and I've always worked because I do want to have money. I don't want to be relying on everybody. Sometimes I do think, though, I have seen people who don't have the jobs and like literally, you know, they have to be successful at their art. Otherwise, they'll have nothing. And I think there is something romantic and cool about it, but I definitely watch it from the ledge, like not jumping. Like, oh gosh, yeah, I want to pay my rent. I don't want I don't want
Right?
people after me for money. But
No.
you know, your perspective changed. You know, and I think you can see, you know, the dentist didn't necessarily think you were a loser. He might have just not understood your
Yeah.
passion,
Yeah, it's like give me
your
a minute.
passion for the arts.
Yeah. You know, I mean, and I feel like at that time we were not living together. Like I had my place. I was in a dorm. He was like in a student, like off campus dorm. So it's like, dude, we're not depending on each other. Don't judge me. But I feel like years later, it's like, okay, we're shared rent. Like, no, sir, this is not cool.
Well, and don't you think that maybe there was this chance of like, because you said trying to be a rapper, you as someone who has been in the business looking at him like, are you trying?
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Or are you just lazy?
Exactly. Like, are you like, seriously? Because I feel trying is you're out there grinding every day. You're putting up your YouTube. You're putting up your thing. You know, you're not on the street at 125th for 2 hours, like forcing your CD in people's mouth. You know, I feel like people who really want this, they're out there instead of people who are talking about it. And I feel like I've been around this city for years to recognize the difference. No matter how hot you are, yes, you could still be 47 with, I'm sure I'll stare at you and I'm sure we'll be great for one night, but we're not going to get married. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still a dreamer. I get it, but no, it's so hard. Oh gosh. So speaking of relationships and who we are, you made me do a test.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, people, if you ever, okay, what was the test called again?
It's the 5 languages of love.
Okay, so folks, look it up. You can Google it, whatever. It's called the 5 languages.
Yeah.
of
There's
love.
like,
Okay.
there's books on it. It's a whole revolution.
So break it down. Break it down. Go for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason that I even came to the 5 languages of love is because when I was thinking about, because originally I wanted this podcast just to be called Dreamers Need to Be with Dreamers. But the more I was thinking about it and kind of putting myself as a dreamer, I realized I wanted to understand more about me and how do I feel love? How do I show love and how do I feel love? And then I realized it's more important right now to know that so that way you can share it with someone.
Ooh,
And the
I
most
get it.
important person to share it with is yourself.
Right on. Shit, girl. Okay.
You know, how do I love? And the test is great. It's fun, you know.
But it's
just
so
has such a-
telling.
Yes, because this is 5 languages of love for those who've never heard of it. There's physical touch.
Yes.
There's
Touch me,
quality
baby.
time. So the time that you spend with each other.
Quality time with you.
Acts of services. So helping each other out or, yeah.
I'm just gonna get
Words
saucy.
of affirmation.
Yes, I am. Oh, I am. Yes, I am. Diamond, tell me I'm the best. I am. What
And
else?
then receiving gifts.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Diamonds are forever. Then come and greet me.
And so for me, when I took it, and I think more importantly, before we even go into the thing, I am a true believer, and I think most people who know about 5 languages of love, even though you might have one that's more dominant, you need all of them.
Ooh, okay.
So, you know, if you are someone that like definitely needs words of affirmation, you need to be told that you're appreciated,
Tell
that
me
you
I'm
love
the best
you.
I am.
That doesn't mean that you also don't need someone to help you. Or you don't need someone to touch you, or you don't need someone to think of you and bring you something. You really do need it all, but it's understanding more, you know, why is one more dominant? So
Yeah.
for me, when I took it, the first one was physical. Like that was, I think I had like 10 physicals, you know, and then the next thing was like 6. Like,
And I was like, ew, 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 ew.
what? No, I don't need you to touch me. I need you to bite.
we'll talk about that later. Yeah.
But it made sense to me because I know that I show love by touching, and I love energy. I love when you touch someone, especially if you're touching someone and you're hoping to get to more of an intimate level. Oh, I can feel the energy, you know, going through your bodies. Even if it's just a little touch on the hand, you know, because it's your first time, or, you know, you're talking to someone and then you let the touch linger longer. I love all of that. So
Damn,
much.
girl. Okay.
But
it makes me think like back in the day when I was younger and at church and I was trying to get, never mind. Okay. Go ahead.
But I mean, even my nieces and nephews, to me, showing them love is not like they know Aunt KD's poor. So I'm not going to be I'm not bringing the gifts. I'm not bringing the gifts, but I'm going to bring the attention, the quality time, I'm going to run to them. I'm going to grab them. I'm going to hug them, That's just how I show love.
I wonder would I be afraid of Auntie Katie if you were
I know, right?
For the kid who's like, don't touch me. Okay, there is Auntie Katie. Okay. No, that's sweet though.
Yeah.
I get it. And I'm, of course, on the flip side, I was so ashamed. I'm really a good person, I swear to you. But so my language is what? I'm a material person.
No, you are.
I'm materialistic. I'm a horrible person. What am I?
You're receiving gifts.
Okay, so this is my love language, people. If you want to date me or if you are dating me and if it hasn't worked out, listen. What is it again?
Receiving gifts.
Okay, so what does that mean? I mean, okay, like.
No, how you perceive love or that you are being loved is the gift giving. But gift giving doesn't mean materialistic.
Thank God. Okay.
I mean, really it breaks down to you like to be thought of.
I do like to be thought of. I do.
That's how you know someone loves you. If you don't see someone for a week and they come back, if they just give you a hug, that might not, because you'll be like, whoa,
say it, prove
you
it.
want to know that why they were gone, they thought of you.
Get it. Seriously, write me, make me a goddamn collage. Well, you know what? Okay. So I broke up like damn near an engagement over a Valentine's Day gift. I'll never forget. Like I was telling this person maybe weeks ago, I was like, I really want to be with you. And I know you want to be with me and this can happen, but there are a couple of things that I need you to do. When they say women don't communicate, bullshit. I was like, here's a list. Here's a chart. Valentine's Day is coming up. Please, I know this could be small, whatever, but please entertain me, And of course, the day came up, the person showed up with nothing, not even a card. I think I made him go out and get a card from Dwayne Reed. You're like, gosh. But okay. And so I remember he was trying to make me feel bad. Like, oh, you're being petty. And it's like, no, I'm not being petty. You want me to spend my whole life with you, the rest of my life with you. I can't spend the rest of my life with someone who won't entertain me. It's a freaking day. What the hell is wrong with you?
He wasn't listening to your truth.
Get in. He was not listening to my truth. Yeah. And no matter how silly it was, but this is my truth. And the fact that, I had to think about it and I was like, oh, hell no, I got to go. Like we done, we good. Like, nah, I don't want anymore. Someone also got me together and was like, Charlie, I think it's because maybe you're not used to that level of intimacy. So maybe someone who's never really received gifts like that. That's why you want it. I don't give a shit, but I want you to entertain me. And I love that I took this test and I realized I meant that. For example, remember Eric, we went to Michigan and I love going to Michigan because every time Eric sees me, he always has, I don't care if it's a small bottle, a big bottle, but he always has apple cider vinegar and I go crazy. Like it's a Christmas and I smell and I jump, but every time he sees me, and it's the most special thing to me. And that doesn't cost money, but it's like, you haven't saw me in 6 months, but you know what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
And I think that's beautiful. I think and
I also want to be like P. Diddy, go to Brooklyn and get that cheesecake. I'm sorry.
Well, and I think it's great. I mean, how lucky is it that now moving forward, people that are going to be able to come into your life, you're going to be able to say, this is how I know to be loved.
Yeah.
And this is what I want. And it's not, when you put it in perspective, I don't think when you say receiving gifts, it just means I want diamond rings. I want cars. Yeah, those would be nice. But,
Porsche SUVs, everything. Yeah.
I need, receiving gifts shows me that you love me.
Yeah. I mean,
and it can be as simple as an apple cider vinegar that's been opened in the refrigerator. And, but bring it.
Do you know what I miss? Now we're going to go deep. I miss you guys remember like the playlist culture, like the music where you really like someone? I stopped making playlists. My last playlist I made for someone at like 29, and they totally broke my heart over it. But I remember I would sit and just make a playlist of like 15 songs of what I thought of someone, you know, or someone will send that to me. And till this day, I think it's the most special gift like anyone can make for someone. I don't know.
A little mixed CD.
Right? I want mixed CD realness. Totally. You know what they need? They need like albums where you can just put your songs on the albums and just give it out as a gift. Let's start a business like that.
I think you probably can, I imagine.
Really? God damn it.
But I mean, that's a really good thing, you know? Looks like I know what I'm getting someone for Christmas.
You know, but this is why I love all of our friends, because we're huge on like birthdays and Christmas. Ugh. And like, I know you hate it, but I love personally going shopping for my friends. I see you guys in things. I want you guys to have fun. So for me to take that time and to go broke on you guys is like the best thing in the world for me.
Yeah,
it is. It is.
And for me, I hate shopping, and I don't come from a gift family. Like we stopped giving gifts at Christmas because my mom was like, it's too much pressure. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Really? I hate shopping for gifts. Like, you know, my gift is like, I want to be with you. Oh. You know, like I want to spend my money at like getting a cabin somewhere, or, you know, I just want to be with that person. Yeah. And so the pressure of the gift sometimes is like, it rattles me. Like, you know, my roommate, my best friend since we were 10, I hate that he's such a great gift giver. I love getting the gifts, but it's like
he's everything. He's the best giver. Actually, he'll just look at you like the proud mom. Like, I know you like it.
Yeah,
I know you like it.
and for me, I'm all like, oh, I know I'm never gonna be able to give him.
Dude, he found me champagne gummy bears. True love. Find me. Actually, there was champagne. There were margarita gummy bears with tequila in them. True love. Like, that's how you speak to me.
Yeah. And mine is, give me a hug and stay with me.
So Katie, I'm going through it. So we know who we are. Why in the hell are we still single? Okay, I know why I'm single. I mean, God damn it, I lost 68 pounds and I'm getting to the pussy and I'm seeing my pussy and I'm like, oh shit. So I'm going to wait on all of this until like, you know, may the best man win, because this girl is coming together. But why are we single? Like, really?
I mean, for me, I think one of the big reasons that I am single is a mixture of independence and insecurity. Like, I feel I'm going to blame my parents. I'm going to blame my parents.
Wait. Independence. Wait. Repeat that again. It's a mixture of, wait, this is like fucked up but good. Independence.
And insecurities.
Okay. Say it again.
Independence and insecurities. I'll explain it.
Okay.
My parents raised me. I'm going to blame them. Always blame your parents. No. But my parents raised me to be so independent. But they did not give me enough confidence.
Oh, shit. I got it. Okay.
But I'm learning. Oh,
okay. Girl, I got you. Okay. All right. Why am I single? You know what? I'm just getting to my truth, right? I'm just getting to my honesty. Like, I'm figuring out what I like. I feel like all these years I've been just what was fed to me or what was given to me. So I feel like I'm just waking up. That's why I'm single, you know? I've been in relationships, but my God. You know, and you know what? Okay, speaking of past relationships, I can truly say I don't hate any of my exes. I don't feel bad toward my exes. I wish them well. I'm truly at a place where I realized that I wasn't aligned. I wasn't that person and they weren't that person, you know? And I feel like it's so important to know your truth, to feel good, to be happy. Because if you're not, like, folks, you know, there was a story of a girl, she's on Instagram, and I'll never forget, she claimed she found the love of her life. She had a bad date, and then she was like, oh, I was so upset. I was angry, and then I meet someone on the bus, you know, and we go off. Everything's great. You know, she gets married. She's divorced 2 years later. You know, and then I thought about that. First, I was excited for her. I was like, oh my gosh, true love. And I was like, no. She met someone in a state where she was not feeling good about herself. No matter if the attraction was there or not, it was. But she met someone at a time where she was not feeling good about herself. You know, it didn't last.
And thank goodness it didn't last because I'm hoping it didn't last because she finally felt good about herself.
Exactly. She had to let him go, right?
Yeah.
So when I think about weight loss and transforming and everything, and no matter how good love feels, and you could already be in love, all good, but no matter how good that feels, it's really good for us to know ourselves and be aware.
And I love the idea of if you're in a bad place, maybe you shouldn't be looking for somebody else. Maybe you should be looking to get yourself out of that bad place.
Yes, God. That's awesome.
I think a lot of people, especially you rely on somebody else to make them feel better, and they forget that you have to do it.
Go ahead, girl. This is an awesome segment, by the way. I'm going to listen to this. That way I can hope it be like, Charlie, listen, girl, listen. Because I feel like I'm in between this right now. I'm going through something where I'm figuring it out. And I'm really being clear on what I want.
No.
All right, girl, you got to the pussy and I'm getting to the pussy and somebody. Let's get to all of our pussies. Well, this has been a great episode. Ladies, gentlemen, women, me, amoeba, trans, unicorns, everyone. Love yourself, and we will see you guys next episode. Yeah. To all my lipstick. Yes. We're good.